Okay, it's the fourth month, the 25th day, 2026. So April 25, Saturday morning after it's after 6 o'clock. So this video that I'm doing now, because I didn't do one last week. I've done so many stories, and they're the ones that are most appropriate that I'm doing. I have a lot more stories, but they're the kind of stories that, I don't know if you watch those TV shows that make you cry. And those are the kind of stories I don't want to say. Because sometimes I watch those shows so I do cry, because I have a hard time crying sometimes. And you should cry, it's good for you. But anyway, let's go on with the story that I'm on for today. Okay, last weekend, my sister, my brother-in-law, my nephew, everybody that was living here, they went on a trip. I think it was to Ottawa. I'm not sure 100%. But I left me 4 days at home, which is nice to be by yourself once in a while. I think it's good for you. Anyway, so the first night when I was at home, see, my sister passed away on the 7th of December of 2025. And I had a hard time dreaming about her because I guess I felt guilty because I'm a psychic. How come I couldn't tell that she passed away? And I did a reading on her about maybe 8, 9 years ago, and I could go 5 years in the future. And I didn't see anything bad at that time. But she never got another reading of me because I saw some bad things happening in her life, which is normal for life. Things happen, and sometimes they're not so good. Some breakups and relationships and stuff like that. So she said, Birdy, don't give me another reading again. So I didn't, which probably I should have. That way I maybe would have had a sense or something was going to go wrong, and I would have to help her. But I didn't know. But for about 2 months I felt guilty. And when you feel guilty, you won't dream about a loved one that has passed away. It's one of those things. But after the 2 months have passed, in the middle of the third month, I started dreaming about her. Now, I can see apparitions too, ghosts and stuff like that, but I couldn't see her ghost. I was figuring she was in a different place, in a hierarchy and all that. My mom and dad, I can see them. They've passed away, and I can see them usually only on special occasions like Christmas or Easter or Valentine's or a day where there's a lot of energy, and then I can usually see their apparition, and they come and say hi to me and stuff like that and ask me how life is going and how everybody is. Now, with my sister Angela, I have not seen her yet. But this weekend that just passed, last weekend, so I was sleeping. She probably died about 4 or 5 in the morning, maybe 6 or 7. I don't know when she passed away. The ambulance came and they did what's that called, an autopsy on her and everything to determine, because she died of an illness and everything. So we had to make sure that it wasn't contagious. But anyway, so she died approximately 5 to 7 o'clock in the morning. That's what we estimate the best of that time. And on Friday night, I went to bed, and about 5 in the morning, I hear a bang, boom, smash. And when she was awake, she went to the washroom, we figure, and then she was headed for her bed, and she hit the bedpost and then fell on the floor. So that would have made a lot of noise. And so at that time, I wasn't thinking that was what happened. I thought someone was upstairs because I'm downstairs. There's 3 floors to where I'm at. So I go upstairs and there's nobody around, no nothing. No, I still didn't put it together that it might have been the ghost, her falling. I didn't see a ghost yet. So I said, okay, lock the door. I go on my day, go on my way. And the next night, I went to bed. I go to bed relatively early. And same thing happened. Bang, boom, around approximately the same time. So this time I grab a club or a broom handle or something like that. And I'm proceeding to go upstairs. And I see my sister coming down the stairs, which has passed away, and my mother behind her. I'm like, you guys are alive, all right. And she goes, no, we're not alive. My sister said, I'm not alive. My mother goes, no, we're not alive. And she goes, what are you going to do with that broom handle? I said, well, I thought somebody was upstairs. He goes, that's not going to do anything. And so I said, oh, forget it. Put the broom handle down. And I said, they went to the kitchen, and I followed them to the kitchen. And we all sat down and started talking. And she goes, you started dreaming about me after you stopped feeling guilty. I said, yeah, because I wanted to save you. And she goes, nobody can save me. When I got sick, what is that called? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like septic. She went septic, and that's really bad. I found out it's really bad. Sorry for taking a moment to figure out what that was again. And she goes, as soon as that happened, she was already destined, and the hospital probably couldn't save her even if she got there. But if she would have got there 3 months before and found out that might happen, then maybe she would have been saved. That's a what if, whatever. You can't do that either. So she said to me, she goes, tell the oldest sister in the family, which is having a hard time dreaming about, tell her not to feel guilty. Because she was going upstairs, feeding her chicken noodle soup, doing this and doing that, doing everything she could. But she feels guilty perhaps for other reasons other than just giving her the soup and this and that, whatever that may be. But I told her, after when she got back from her trip, I said, stop feeling guilty about your younger sister's passing away. And also her best friend, I have to tell her, and my sister told her, but I will be seeing her today at some time. And I will tell her that not to feel guilty because we're doing a celebration of life for my passed away sister today. Yeah, so, and we talked, and they asked about how everybody's doing everything, and they said, we noticed you didn't do a video yesterday. I said, well, everybody left, and I didn't have nobody to help me, and the stories I have are the ones that make you kind of cry, and I don't want to do those. And, I said, I'm pretty close. God told me on the 7th of the 25th day of 2025 that to catch up on the videos that I'm doing. So that was July 7th, 2025. And I've caught up. And you're the last story. I just got this last week. I was going to save this story maybe for another time, but I thought it would be appropriate to do it on the celebration of life that they're celebrating for my sister. I thought that would be an appropriate story to do. And she goes, oh, that's very nice. I really enjoy that. And she goes, you can't stop the videos completely, right? I said, well, no. When I get another story, I'll do another video. But I want them to be happy stories and successful stories and stories that have magical things happening in them. And so they understood. And my mom and my sister, my mom goes, don't worry, we're going to help you. Because, I'm doing these videos, I've got to make them somehow into something more special so more people will watch them. And I'm going to try to achieve that with the help of those two ghosts, a couple angels, and, my own resources and abilities. But they talked to me for a while. We talked and talked and talked. Almost 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, I've never talked to two ghosts this long. And she goes, we're not only ghosts, we're your mother and sister. I said, yeah, that's true. So you're the ones that are going to make that noise every day, every night? And she said, no, we can't do it when the house has more than 2 or 3 people in it. Because we're human, we have energy, and that interferes with the ghost's energy. They have to go around us. Or special people that can maybe see them or hear them or feel them or know about them, they can communicate with them. Like, don't believe in those seances because there's more than 4 people. The ghosts won't come because they're not supposed to be known that they are ghosts. They have this thing where they don't want anybody to know this. Yeah, I don't know how to tell you. One-on-one, a ghost will come. I can almost will any ghost to come to me. But I'd have to know about them a little bit. And they will come. 90% of the times, ghosts come when I'm doing a reading on someone and they start crying. And the ghost loves that person. So it'll come to that person and defend it and attack me. And I know that there's a ghost there because now it's attacking me. And then I'll try to calm the ghost down and talk to it and say, listen, I'm trying to help this person. She needs to cry or he needs to cry. He's got remorse, whatever they have inside of them. And that's the way I got to do it. And that's how I usually connect with ghosts. And then sometimes there's other reasons. Passed away ghosts have passed away problems. I have to help them. They'll come to me. They say, oh my God, you can see me, you can hear me, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. And then I got to do it again. It's kind of difficult because it does take up time and energy to do these things. But then you get to see this big, beautiful light, them go through it. There's a satisfaction. Yeah, that's the way that works. But anyway, I will be able to see my sister's apparition. And that usually takes over 3 months. But don't forget, she's in the hierarchy, but she's got unfinished business. So that's why she's not going to heaven. And ghosts with this hierarchy that can go there whenever they want, there's a different way they can do things. Most ghosts will die when they die or with the clothes that they wear. When you get to this hierarchy, you can move around, go anywhere you want, and you can also wear whatever clothes you want. So if it's the winter, you'll wear winter clothes. If it's the spring, you'll wear spring clothes. If the summer, you wear summer clothes. Fall, you wear fall clothes. So they address to the time of the zone. Not only that, usually normal ghosts when they die stay the age that they die. But when you're this, because my sister, she was a teacher. She helped people. She helped children. They all told her they loved her, and she was that much caring that she became this hierarchy. And that way she could help people more than anybody else. But as a ghost, it'll give her certain abilities. So she can be whatever age she wants when she comes. In fact, she came at 25. She looked like she was 25 years old. And my mom has a similar, but not as strong actually as my sister Angela. Oops, I said her name, but I'm allowed to say her name. She was the one person that says, say my name. And so I'm allowed to say her name. But my mother, she had the same abilities that she had. Anyway, she also came down at the age of 37. But my mom has been changing her age and changing the way she looks through the whole time that she's passed away. She has fun with it. Yeah, my father too. He couldn't do that. I had to give him the energy to do so. So I had 3 years of my life had to be dedicated to praying and helping my father in whatever state of a ghost he was, to give him the strength in order to just do certain things. He really can't change as much as the other two. So he looks practically the same as when he died and in a suit where he died in it. Yeah. All right. That's it. So I'm going to do a story whenever I have a story to do. God told me to catch up. I've caught up. I'm here. All right. Birdy signing out. Bye.